Hey guys, what's good? I'm Praveen Nair from BodyProCoach Fitness, and today we're going to be talking something very exciting. That's about muscle gain. Everybody want to gain muscles, look good, look hot. These are the concerns that we have. Okay, you have tuned into the internet's one of the leading fitness channel that's about BodyProCoach. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button that you always have the intimation on the new video that's coming up. We've got videos on information, recipes, movements, and of course on train to look good programs. So make sure that you maximize the information that's been given and get the results that you're looking forward for. So we all gain weight, we all want to look good at the same time, but what happens that when you gain weight, you end up gaining weight on the wrong places, probably on your hips, on your stomach, and you may gain some amount of muscle mass on your chest and your shoulders, or probably on your biceps. But what are we going to do that? We want to gain muscles, we want to gain lean muscles on the right places, and at the same time we want to get those abdomen as narrow as possible. That's what we're looking forward for. So we always get to hear this term called as hypertrophy. What is hypertrophy? It's about where we increase the muscle mass, the volume of the muscle fibers. That is called as hypertrophy, and that's exactly what you're looking forward for at this situation. We're going to get in detail and speak about this in detail. So when it comes to muscle building, the most important thing is the metabolism. And the metabolism breaks down into two categories. One is anabolic metabolism and one is catabolic metabolism. Let's dive into it in detail. In the stage of anabolism or anabolic stage, the body is in the process of building new compounds and tissues, which means that including strengthening of your bones and the muscle tissues around. In the catabolic stage, the body is in the process of breaking down the complex compounds, at the same time muscle tissues. So that happens when you overtrain, you exercise for a long period of time, or you do not have meals or drinks for a long period of time. So you're pretty much starving. In those stages is the time that your body end up approaching the stage of catabolism. So what you have to do that in order to gain muscles, you want to avoid catabolism and build your body or create an anabolism around the system. That's the time you get to see that you are building up lean muscle mass and you start looking great with the posture and you start approaching everything to the correct. So how do we do it? How do we create anabolism? We got to think about optimizing the hormones which are responsible for the muscle growth. And they are insulin, your IGF, insulin growth factor, human growth hormone, testosterone, and estrogen. So you got to think about all these hormones literally supporting you or having more hormones in the system of these certain ones which I just mentioned. When you speak about muscle gain, the one hormone that comes in your mind is always testosterone, and that's the reason the male look a bit more stronger. Testosterones are the hormones which are responsible for the male characteristics, the way they look, the way they lift weights, their performance, they have more strength. These are major response of testosterone. It increases protein synthesis and also increases muscle mass strength. Testosterone increases neurotransmitters, which encourages the tissue growth. It also interacts with nuclear receptors in DNA, which causes protein synthesis and build muscles. Growth hormone is produced by the pituitary glands and stimulates liver to produce the IGF-1, are the major hormones which are responsible for the muscle growth or the anabolism. Growth hormone stimulates protein anabolism in many tissues. This effect reflects the increased amino acid uptake, increased protein synthesis, and a decreased oxidation of proteins. So when you look forward when we think about the muscle building or anabolism, the most important thing is training, the workout that you always look forward for. So the protein synthesis has to be greater than the protein breakdown. So the muscle growth occurs or happens when your muscle protein synthesis is greater than the muscle protein breakdown. So when you exercise, you place a lot of stress on your muscles, and that is causing to breakdown of the muscle fibers at a very small rate. That's called as a microscopic level muscle breakdown, and that is the reason you feel soreness after the workout. So after intense training, when you give rest to the body, when you take rest, at the time the body starts initiating the process of muscle recovery. The body uses the amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. So you want to make sure that if you're training really hard, looking for lean muscle mass, first thing, it should be very consistent, and secondly, it should be good with good amount of protein. That you can make sure that you have sufficient amount of amino acids floating in your system, in your bloodstreams, and you do get to recover the muscles much more faster, and at the same time look stronger. All right, here are the few exercise routine or exercise types that you can follow in order to gain some kind of lean muscle mass. The first and the most important thing comes in my mind is about weightlifting or resistance training. So resistance training, by doing resistance training or weightlifting, you get to break the muscle fibers at a very microscopic level, as I said earlier, and that's going to help you lead to a great level of recovery later part when you provide the right amount of protein. So that becomes very important. Cardio does help you to maintain a good fat percentage, but you want to make sure that if you're building good amount of muscles, you want to look lean, perform better, have that lean structure. It's very, very important that you train your muscles with the resistance. But just I get to see a lot of people just doing a lot of cardio. That will not help you to build muscles, which means your structure of the muscle is going to eventually support the bone structure, and that's not going to happen. So you want to make sure that you use resistance, weightlifting, and probably more of compound movements. The study shows that if you lift more of compound movement, you end up having more level of free testosterone, which is going to lead you to have more amount of muscle mass. The next popular one is about high intensity interval training. Exactly what we follow as train to look good programs. We have added up some amount of mobility work and the core work into it. That's the reason we have added up some amount of core work and mobility work into it with the HIIT training, high intensity interval training, and we call it as train to look good program. So we can find that on our channel. So being said that, high intensity interval training puts a lot of stress on the system. And that's exactly what we need. We need to give the stress to the body, that the body reacts to it, it gets stronger. So with the high intensity training, because you're constantly creating a lot of movements, keeping the heart rate up, and at the same time, you are putting your muscles under a lot of stress. So that's going to lead the body to produce more of human growth hormones. Eventually that's going to produce more of testosterone, and that's going to lead you towards building muscles, building lean muscles. So when it comes to training, the most important thing comes to be resistance training, which is the weightlifting. At the same time, high intensity interval training plays a huge role. So we spoke about amino acids, we spoke about protein. It's very important that we know exactly what sort of protein, what kind of protein that we need to approach in order to build that lean muscle mass. Protein is made of amino acids, and amino acids are the building blocks of your muscles and the body. But your body is constantly draining its protein reserves for other uses like making hormones, and so you have to replenish that protein. Sources of protein: eggs, meat, fish, milk, soy. This is the great source of protein that you can look forward for, but if at all you are a vegetarian, then you can literally look forward for soya, feta cheese, and some amount of cottage cheese. Carbs and fats. When you speak about your macros, that your proteins, carbs and fats, the carbs and fats become the major source of energy for us, and that's how we run the system overall. When you deplete your carbs or fats, the body probably will have to approach towards the protein, the building blocks of the muscles. So you want to make sure that you do take carbs and fats based on the plan that you are in right now. If you're building muscles, lean muscle tissues after having a great lean abdomen area, and at the same time some amount of carbohydrates that you get to really recover the system. So it is a great idea to take a protein shake post your workout within about few minutes. That will make sure that you get some good quality of protein. At the same time, much more easy to break down. I get to hear a lot of things about protein shake. Sometimes the doctor said it's not healthy kind of stuff. It's nothing, it's very simple. It's an easy form of protein which is available, which is whey. You get to hear is whey, right? So whey is a part of milk. So there is nothing harm, it's not going to make you any harm, it's not going to break your kidneys or liver, such kind of stuff. So it's just a myth about it. It's nothing, but it's much more easy to absorbable. That's all about it. You want to make sure that post workout, probably the protein shake that you take, if you're not in a plan like ketosis, we promote a lot of ketosis and you get to see a lot of videos, but the video which you're making right now is an overall video. It's not specifically focusing on ketosis. So we're not talking about ketosis at this point of time, but generally if you're in a normal plan of building muscles kind of stuff, you can look forward for something, a protein shake which carries some amount of carbohydrates. It's very important that post workout you do get the protein, at the same time you do get the carbohydrate to replenish the glycogen system. A balanced diet which consists of your vitamins, your minerals, and a good value of nutrients can facilitate a great anabolism in your body. So you want to make sure that you get all the essential things which I mentioned right now, and at the same time train really hard. Here goes the big one, and this could be the reason that ketogenic diet is becoming so popular and a lot of people are getting amazing results. When you eat sugar, that's going to spike insulin at a high level, at a high rate, and that's going to drop your testosterone levels. If you do not have enough amount of testosterone running in your system, you definitely will not become muscular or lift good or feel good. So these are the characteristics of the testosterone. You want to make sure that you eliminate or really minimize the usage of sugar, or find some substitute for once in a while. Your sleep plays a huge role. So it's very important that you sleep for minimum about 7 to 8 hours in the 24 hours of the day. So some really great things about sleep and testosterone is that your body produces more testosterone when you're sleeping, and it minimizes the production of testosterone when you're awake, when you're walking around, when you're doing things. So you make sure you take enough sleep. All right, we're coming towards the end of the video right now, the information video. And of course, you always have the best thing at the end. And this is about stress. You want to make sure that you take minimum stress, because when you take a lot of stress, it could be anything. It could be because of work stress, your girlfriend, boyfriend stress, whatever stress that you have, is going to increase your levels of cortisol, which means that when you have more amount of cortisol, that's going to depress, or it's going to minimize the amount of testosterone, which means that whatever we spoke about so far is going to completely go against it. So there's no testosterone, there's no muscle growth, there is no feel good factor, or feeling good factor, at the same time performance, everything is going to be affected. So you want to make sure that you're not much stressed, you sleep well, you eat correct, and really keep yourself fit and have a nice and good amount of hormones producing in the body. Another thing is that as you get older, your body start minimizing the production of growth hormones as well as testosterone. So if you're already at close to about 30, you want to be more concerned about it and taking care of your health. That's the reason we have so much of information coming out for you guys. Every week we got about 3 videos that's about information, exercise, and on the recipe. These are the 3 things that you need to be fit. So I believe most of the people have membership, they go to the gym, and the reason they don't get results is lack of information. And that's the reason we started the channel. We have a lot of information. All you have to do is that take out time, be patient enough, sit down and watch the complete video. And at the same time, if you're liking the video, thumbs up for that. At the same time, do share the video with your friends and family. And I believe that it's about helping each other. So you get to see my all the posts that I do on social media platforms. Most of the time I have a hashtag saying that lift each other up. That's the thing that we're to do. We're going to help the community. So thank you so much for tuning in, watching the video up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button, that you always have the intimation of the new videos coming up. And keep letting us know about what kind of videos that you're looking forward for. You can comment below, and we will produce that video for you guys. If you're looking for online coaching, and if you stay far from us, we're located in India, Mumbai. If you stay far from us, you can get in touch with us on coaching@BodyProCoach.com, and we are more than happy to help you with a customized plan for you guys. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.